Hello and welcome. My name is Kathy A, and I was watching just random videos on YouTube, and every now and then I get something in my feed that I'm not subscribed to it, but it looked interesting. And there was a lady who was showing all of the palettes that she owned, and she was discussing whether or not she would repurchase those palettes or not. So it's kind of an interesting, different sort of way. There's several different videos out now about that. Anyway, if you don't know me, my name is Kathy A, and I generally do makeup, beauty, lifestyle type of videos. I also work on research projects such as docutorials, I call them, where I go into the history of makeup companies, and then I do a full face of makeup using that company's makeup products. And I've kind of ventured out a little bit lately doing subjects of travel, household stuff, you know, things like that. So, and I'm working on a project right now, a really big project about Native American, Indigenous, First Nation people. And it's about a 6 or 7 part series. I'm working right now on boarding schools and residential schools section, and it's really quite heavy. So hopefully I'll have those out by the end of summer. And but today I'm going to go over all of the eye palettes I presently own, and any of you know me, I've had a YouTube channel since 2013, and I have basically bought palettes every single month since then and tried so many things out. And I tell you, after a while they all look the same. There's only slight variances in different ones. It's just how they package them is cute, or there's a nice combination of colors that work well together, or they can give you a variety of different looks. So I have pretty much come and gone with so many palettes, but these are the ones that are in my collection in 2023. And I have some new ones and some kind of old ones and some political kind of controversial ones. So I'm going to start with some fairly new palettes that I just picked up, and these I'm going to go drugstore to higher end, and I think I'll start with the drugstore. This is the Love Betsy collection. This is Betsy Johnson. Yes, that one from the 80s, in the 70s, and the 60s. She is still doing it, and from her Advent calendar pack from 2022, there was a 3-pan palette in here that is worth the cost of the whole thing. It is a 3. Let me just 1, 2, 3. Just show you this, and let's see if we can do this. It's so beautifully pigmented, and you can see this or not, but it's just beautiful. I definitely would repurchase. I'd actually repurchase this entire Advent calendar, and this has lip stuff, it has cheek stuff, it has eyeshadows. I didn't like the mascara. I think that was the only real fail here. And the eyeliner and brow pencil are very dark color, and they're kind of hard. So I think outside of those, the lip glosses were nice. Her lip products taste or smell or have that wafty kind of scent of melting chocolate. So it's really quite good. But this little trio of eye shades is high quality. You wouldn't know it from a NATASHA Denona or a Urban Decay shadow. I mean, they're really high quality. I don't know how she managed to do these types of things for between $10 and $18 these products cost. But this was definitely worth getting the whole thing for, was this 3 palette thing. You can travel with this and do a basic eye, a glam look, and go a little dramatic with it with 3 colors, and I think that's terrific. Also, she has this particular palette, which is the Starlight shades, which is very, again, high quality shades. They really have great pigment, they blend nicely, they feel luxurious. Now, there's no mirror and it's cheap packaging, but this thing was $9.99. It's like under $10. So I think this was a great assortment of shades. I'll just show you this. Just show you this beautiful purpley periwinkle shade. I use this almost every day. I'll dip into it with one of the shades or another, and I think it's terrific palette. And the third from Betsy Johnson, which I would repurchase as well, is this kind of face and eye palette. This has a pull-out section for cheek and lip products. The lip glosses are very sheer. They're hydrating. They don't last very long. They're just basic, kind of like toy makeup. There was a mascara and two eyeliners here, a purple one and a black one. And then we had the two sponge applicators here. These colors, even though they're tiny little dots, you can do a lot of really good eye looks with this particular palette. And it looks like it would be toy makeup, but the quality, I'm not kidding. The quality is right up there. It's just like Sydney Grace kind of stuff. I mean, they may even make them in the same factory. You never know. But it's definitely not the cheapy color work kind of factory palette. So, and I enjoy this a lot. There's a couple duochromes in here, a couple shimmers I'm not as crazy about, but I think that as an all-around palette it works really, really nicely. Now moving on to, this is the Romantic Beauty. You can get these in TJ Maxx and those kinds of places. These shadows are a little bit on the powdery side, a little bit cheapy, Chinese factory kind of powders. This one is called Oasis. I like the color story of it. I thought it would be really nice for autumn time coming up. The glitters are straight up loose glitter. It's like something in the craft department that you would work on with little kids to, you know, make the stars in the sky or something. Very, very warm tone oranges and browns. The oranges and the light orangey tans don't look as good on me for my coloring, so I'm not that keen on them. This had very little payout. The pressed glitters, I can't stand glitter anyway, and I don't think it's good for the environment or for your eyes. And they also say that these shouldn't be used around the eye area. So they put it in an eyeshadow palette, and then they tell you it's not recommended for around the eye area. So, yeah. Anyway, the deeper tones are okay. They don't go as deep as they look in the pan. I would not repurchase this at all, this Oasis or Romantic Beauty in general. I think they have some great packaging. It looks like they have good color stories. But I think as a brand, Romantic Beauty, I don't think it was high quality at all. So I don't think it's really worth it to buy cheap stuff, especially since you're putting it around your eyes. You really don't want to take the risk. Especially, and they even say themselves, you shouldn't have some of this stuff around your eyes. So, yeah, that was a fail, definitely. Now this one I also got in a TJ Maxx or a Marshalls. They're both kind of owned by the same mother company, TJX Companies. So they share makeup amongst the salespeople and the buyers from different ones. I used to work for TJX Companies in the home goods division. So I know how things work in there from the behind the scenes. Anyway, this is Beauty Concepts. This is a hit or miss brand. And I just thought that this story looks so cute. Glam Around the World palette. And it was sealed up and I couldn't open it up. I mean, you could kind of look at the pictures on the back, but you know, they don't always depict what is really there. Let me just show you close up. I'm sorry about the glare. There we go. Yeah, there's a lot of colors in here. Now some of these kind of marbled shades are shimmers, and they don't really shift. There is one here that does shift. That I was disappointed in the quality of this larger palette. I've enjoyed their smaller palettes in the past. In fact, one of their neutral smaller palettes rivaled one of the Viseart palettes that I had. So I think that the quality on this wasn't all that great. And again, you know, if you just want something to fool around with, you're not going to get the payout, the longevity, or even really the quality that you should deserve. So you could get 3 of these for one really nice palette, but I personally would rather get the one really nice palette that works rather than get a bunch of junk. So this is kind of junky, I would think, the Beauty Concepts one. On Amazon, I discovered this grouping quite by accident, and it turned out to be my favorite palette of last year. And it is the Exotic Flavors palette from a company called You Can Be. And this is, I mean, it's super cheap, but look at the colors in this. This is my second one of this because I hit pan on some of the major colors, so yeah. So you have neutrals, you have your reds, greens, purples, yellows, oranges, pinks, and neons. I mean, you've got a choice of colors here. Now, I don't care for these pressed glitters. I don't like pressed glitters anyway. And I did use some of them. The green one I think I used around St. Patrick's Day. But the pigmentation on these is astoundingly good. And for an inexpensive palette, you can buy these, I think, for about anywhere from $12 to $15, and some of them come with a brush set. So I think it's extraordinary. And this one is my favorite of the grouping. It's called Exotic Flavors. Exotic Flavors from Amazon. And I'll link all of these palettes below that I like. And they are, I guess you could call them Amazon affiliate links. And if you look at it using my link, I don't get anything, but if you buy something, I get like a 0.003 cents per look or something. So, I mean, they are, I guess, technically I get paid. I mean, I don't even get a check every month. That's how low my payout is from like Amazon. I mean, I may get a $13 gift certificate every couple of months, and I'll throw it in and buy something, you know, for the TV show, as my ex-husband used to call it. And I mean, I don't get very much for the affiliate links. It's really more, it's a convenience for you. You can go right to the item. So I do have them listed below, and now I'm putting them in the comments too, because they just made it a real like cat and mouse game to try to find the links or anything, you know, like information about the channel, things like that. Something else from You Can Be is called the Spotlight palette. And this one has a lot of shimmers in it that I was really attracted to. And it's just kind of a companion piece to the Exotic Flavors palette. But this, again, from You Can Be, this is the Spotlight palette. And this one has some great shimmers, slightly different colors than the Exotic Flavors one. So I have this as fill-in shades, as popper, kind of, if I want to pop something in that's a little bit different, I can do that. It's got some beautiful, I love the misty green, the turquoise, absolutely stunning. It really is. This is one of those brands on Amazon that I would trust. I mean, they send everything, it's intact, it doesn't shatter everywhere. The quality is consistent, and the colors are good, and the pricing is perfect. So if you're on a budget, these palettes are wonderful. Really, just these two. Now I couldn't stop there. This whole latte makeup thing, I'm kind of like in on the game there, but we've always kind of done this, and I've always been a neutral girl anyway. So this is very much a latte oriented palette. This is called Toffee Fusion from You Can Be, the same company. But Toffee Fusion is more of your browns and your neutrals and your latte colors. So this is good if you want to try the latte look that's really popular right now in 2023. This would be a perfect palette for that, because you still have the same good quality. You can see how pigmented that is. Usually I can tell when the light shade is pigmented as those old Wet n Wild Brulee shades. That is something that's like that. Really good. And they have a lot of nice shimmers here, a lot of autumn colors. This is the perfect autumn palette, and it's called Toffee Fusion. Again, another companion piece to the other two. Now from the drugstore, if you're going into Walmart, they've been jumping on this quad and quint theme where there are 4 colors. This is the Punk And you know, again, it's got some great colors in here. If you want a purple eye, purples are kind of hard to get a good formulation and good color payout that lasts and it blends nicely. And this is a pretty good one from Hard Candy. It's called Punk. Now, this is the only one of theirs I like out of the grouping, so I think it's because the color stories on the other ones are just too orangey, marigold and sunflower, and I can't stand those colors. So this was good. This was really good. I would definitely repurchase that. Elf, of course, has their quads, and this one is the Love You Latte. Again, the basic eye look. You can do the light on the lid, the medium in the crease, the dark on the corners. It just, you know, it's your perfect basic eye. They're calling this the latte look now, but it's really just a basic eye. Neutral. Milani, I would buy that again for sure. Milani has their Gilded Mini, and this is the whiskey one. What is it called? Whiskey Business, it's called, and this is from Milani. I don't know why they call it that, although whiskey can be this color in the sunlight. Perfect, again, the latte look, perfect shades. I would buy this again. I find that, again, when you check out the light shade, if you've got a good pigmentation there, which there is, I'll just show you the difference here. Now I have to do the other side. Yeah, really good pigmentation on this, good blendability. Milani did really well with this particular one, Whiskey Business. It's the #1, I believe, in the newer releases from Milani, and they're hanging in there. You know, Milani's been, you know, high and low in the YouTube world. This is just a quick mention because I bought this last month and forgot to talk about it as a highlighter, but what I discovered was it's an amazing formulation for, this is the Rare Beauty, and this is Enlighten is the name of the shade. But this, it feels like silk. It's absolutely beautiful, and you can use this as an eyeshadow or a topper. It's very pigmented, so you can use it as an eyeshadow, and it's really, really pretty, and it's gorgeous also as a highlighter, which, you know, it is supposed to be a highlighter, but I wasn't going to buy this initially, and I actually might go and buy the pale pink version of this, the second one, and just use those as my highlighters because it's just stunning. I love the formulation. When you touch it, it's soft. It's soft and light and pretty and so refined. This is one of the best highlighters I've ever used from Rare Beauty, but I do use it as an eye shadow, and I would repurchase this, so it's kind of, I snuck that in there, but I just really like that. Now, MOIRA is another company that some people really, I know Jen Phelps really loves MOIRA, and we're thinking of you, Jen. She's in the hospital today getting some stuff done, and hopefully everything's working out okay. Yeah. MOIRA Beauty. This is their Sugar Delight palette. Again, another one of these latte themed things. You've got a big base shade, and then you've got some basic browns and a couple of shimmers here, but this makes your good latte base eye as well. And MOIRA has, they have a good formula, I believe. And this particular one is one of my favorites from their collection. This is the Sugar Delight, it's called, and it's their basic nude palette. I definitely would repurchase that. The Endless Moonlight palette, it's got a lot of very fancy packaging with the wing spread and all that stuff. It's got a mirror. Personally, I didn't get as much use out of this as I had wanted to. I don't know. I think I would not repurchase this, and I was kind of disappointed in it for all the huff and fluff and packaging. I mean, it's beautiful packaging, but like that doesn't matter. I mean, how many people come into your house and go, "Let me look at your makeup collection"? outside of YouTubers, you know. Most of my friends and family don't wear makeup, so it's like I'm the only one. MOIRA usually has a pretty good formulation on things, but this was pretty lackluster, so I would not repurchase this Endless Moonlight palette from MOIRA Cosmetics. Jurassic Park, yeah! This is Profusion, and Profusion has hit or miss items. Their eyeshadows usually are pretty good. This is quite an expansive collection with them, and let me just pull all the plastic off so you can see the shades really easy. They put all the names on the plastic, or else I would get rid of the plastic completely. But this is their Jurassic World collaboration with Profusion. Let's start here. This is the pressed glitters. And like some of them are really, really stunning. And let's see what we've got. Oh heck, let's just do all of them. I've got 5 fingers. And let's do the thumb with the top one, the Alpha. That is pure glitter. Now with some glitter glue on there, the NYX glitter glue, they do stay on, but when you're washing them off, they do go down into the drain. They do wind up going through water filters and winding up in the ocean, and it's killing our sea life. So I don't like glitters, and look at this on my thumb. You can see this top one. It's just a topper with some minor loose glitter in it. It's not very good. I was disappointed in that. So I love the idea of the footprints. I think that's adorable, and when you see footprints and they fill with rain and they capture different colors, I think that was just really, really clever. But again, the packaging doesn't go outside with you when you're out somewhere. They don't go, oh, that's a Jurassic World. You know, they don't. They just look, oh, you've got a lot of glitter on your cheek. So that's that one. Let me just wipe my fingers off here so I don't get these glitters all over everything else. They do hold up pretty well during the day. They stay put. But you do get some glitter fallout, especially from that Alpha shade, after only a short period of time, or if it's windy out, you get glitter everywhere. So let me look at the other side with you. This is the Jurassic Park mirror. And then we've got, these are the main eyeshadows with what they call a bronzer in the center, and it's an eyeball. You can see that. This is the 32 shade palette version. There is a, I believe, smaller version that has a musical, like when you open it up it plays music. This one is not musical. This just has extra eyeshadow shades. But the smaller version of this that comes in the premiere set has the theme song to Jurassic World, which, you know, Teresa is Dead played it, and every time she closed the palette and reopened it again, it played the theme, and it kind of got on everybody's nerves. But that is the Jurassic World, and the quality was okay. There was a lot of hype around this, and I think a lot of the shades really were lackluster, and they didn't blend very well. It was kind of patchy. There wasn't a lot of good payout with some of the shades that I really needed for my base shades, and it really wasn't, you couldn't make really good cohesive eye looks from this. Hit or miss. I would not buy this again, although I love having a dinosaur in my collection. I definitely wouldn't purchase this again. And this eyeball in the middle is a highlighter. Let me just show you. It's a highlighter. That's no bronzer. Definitely not a bronzer. So the Jurassic World, and I heard that the other products weren't all that great as far as the lip products and the liners and the cheek products, not that great. So I would say no on this. Anastasia Beverly Hills. We're getting into the Sephora and upper. I call in Ulta, I call the drugstore makeup, I call that the street side. And I call the luxury side is, you know, the more expensive makeup. Anastasia Beverly Hills. I have 3 palettes from that company, and then I recently watched, if any of you watch Mr. Welch, he talked about some tweets that she had liked that had to do with being pro-Putin and anti-Ukraine, and I suddenly didn't want to support Anastasia Beverly Hills, so I'm probably going to get rid of, and I will not repurchase any of these palettes. I hate to be political with makeup because, like with L'Oreal, for instance, they have a lot of ties with fascism and evil, you know, very evil. So I don't like to buy L'Oreal products. I do have a couple of things from them in my collection, but not very much. I think I have La Pencil, the liner, and I have the face primer stuff, but I don't have anything else from L'Oreal. I don't like to support them. Anyway, this is the fairly new from Anastasia. This is the Nouveau palette, and there's a lot of autumn kind of neutrals in here with one weird purple thrown in. It doesn't seem to go with anything else in the palette. This is like if you take your finger over the top of that, it seems to be a nicer color story. I would have loved to have that be any other color. Now the quality's good, and I'm really torn here because I do like the quality of her shadows, and I do like, some of the color stories. This one I did like. This came out this past springtime, I believe, and I had thought at the time that it was a summer-fall palette. And now that it's summer-fall, I'm going to be wearing it. But I will not repurchase anything from Anastasia Beverly Hills because I cannot handle that politics of that. It's like the Jeffree Star thing. It's like he's got some high-quality products, but I don't want to support him. So that's how that goes. The other palette I have is Modern Renaissance. Again, this was a popular palette many years ago, and this is, I think, my 3rd one. So I have been supporting her all along here because I like some of the colors in here a lot. I like the browns and the neutrals in here. I like the light shade. It's very, very pretty. It lasts a long time. These blend well. There's some good transition shades. It's high quality. The brush is okay. I don't really go crazy about it. But again, I don't think I'm going to repurchase this because I do have these shades in other brands, and they will suffice. This one is my favorite in the grouping, and this is the Soft Glam palette. So Soft Glam is pretty much the perfect autumn palette. The colors are just spectacular. The shimmers are nice. The payout is nice. The blendability is nice. This is my favorite palette out of the Anastasia Beverly Hills palette. Yeah, I wouldn't repurchase, but this was my favorite in the grouping, and it's perfect for autumn. There's a little backhanded compliment there. NATASHA Denona. I didn't like this at all. This is the mini Starlette palette, and I just got it. I got it in Kohl's, you know, because they seem to have the cheaper price. There's not very much payout on this, and the colors are so similar and they blob into each other. Let me just show you. You know, it looks like it's a warm and a cool tone brown, but on your eye, these two browns look so similar. And then there's this kind of marigoldy tan color, and this shimmer has so much micro glitter in it. It falls all over the place. So I didn't like this at all. And you know, it looks much cooler toned online than it does in person. And it was a very warm looking palette, but not in a good way. So unfortunately, I'm probably going to take this back because I don't like it. I don't think it's up to her quality standards, especially that very light color, and it's cool toned. Besides, you know, you've got a cool toned, this is cool toned, and the rest is warm toned, and it just sticks out like a sore thumb to me. This could have been another color, maybe a lighter shade or something, but I think they messed up. I really do. The mini Starlette palette. from Natasha Denona. Yeah, I think I'm going to probably return that. This is the My Dream palette from Natasha Denona again. This has some interesting colors in it. Got a nice mirror on this side. The colors are kind of okay. You can do that latte look thing that everybody likes, and let's see what we got here. There we go. You see the colors? Trying to keep the reflection off. Yeah, it's okay. You know, we got that again. You know, it's yeah, some of the shimmers are nice. They blend in. There's no fallout really with this, and it's not my dream palette, but it is a fairly nice one. Would I repurchase this? Probably not. And I'm definitely not going to purchase this again. I'm actually going to return this. Going into Charlotte Tilbury. I don't know. She's been annoying me lately. It just seems like a money grab to me, and I'm getting kind of annoyed with it. It just seems really bad. But this, let me clean it up because it's a well-loved palette. I love this palette. This is the Sophisticate. This is one of her little quads, and I have reached pan on one of the shades, but I use this palette a lot as a basic makeup everyday look for work. The Sophisticate. The quality is good, it blends nicely, it looks good. You can do your latte look with this as well. The Sophisticate, it's always sold out in Sephora when I go there. When they get a new batch in, it sells out rather quickly. So this is one that I would get when they have their sale in the autumn time. The other one is Smashbox, and this is the Cover Shot Minimalist palette. This is the perfect, again, a la KVD Shade and Light palette, very similar little quads there, where you have, you know, a lid, a transition, and a brow bone, and a corner color. You have a cool tone and warm tone version, very, very nice. They recommended this at the online makeup academy that I've been attending. I'm probably going to be attending for another couple of years before I graduate because I'm not doing my homework. Yes, I would repurchase this. It's an excellent palette. Smashbox. Isn't that cute packaging too? It does the little starburst thing. Yeah, the Minimalist, Cover Shot Minimalist palette from Smashbox. Really, really good palette. Going into Rude Cosmetics, they're kind of a medium to fancy company. Last summer I drove from Connecticut to Reno because there was an impending train strike and my train tickets were canceled. So I had to make the 4.5-day drive each direction plus my stay there at my brother's. I use this every day and I used it for everything. Talk about a product that is very, very versatile. This is an eye and face palette from Rude Cosmetics. It's called Nude York. And you've got your face products, which you can also double as eye products. And then you've got some really nice assortment of eye products. This is my third one of this, or fourth. Yeah, I love this. This is like the perfect all-around palette. If you just want to get one palette for everything, if you're traveling, Rude Cosmetics, it's called Nude York. And you've got your bronzer, your blush, your highlighter, and you've got several different eye looks right here. It's so convenient, and it saved me on my trip. Through the dark motel with a little light, trying to do my makeup. This works really nicely. Yes, I would repurchase. Now they have, Rude Cosmetics also has a series now, the Flower Love. This is the Gardener version of the Flower Love series. You can find this, ironically, at TJ Maxx and Marshall's right now, but it's also on their website. I wasn't as happy with the quality of this as I have been with the smaller one. It almost feels like it's a different formula. But the colors are neat. You can add in a few. There's some mossy kind of colors and olive-y colors. You've got your latte look colors. A couple of pressed glitters that I won't touch, and I'm in a habit now of just scraping them out so that they're not there at all. And I think that it's a nice palette. I wouldn't repurchase this particular one. There are others in the series here. Maybe they have a more interesting color story. There are a few shades in this that I do like and I would use again, but I wouldn't purchase the whole palette just for those. Glam Light. This is the Frosted Flakes palette, and I bought this because the packaging is just so stinking cute. Oh my gosh. Everything here is like, it's like you bought a box of cereal. And the actual palette also looks, they're great. Isn't that cute? So I was trying to figure out what kind of color pattern would be in there, because there's no colors on the outside box at all. You have to, like, it's sealed up really tight, so you have to take, you know, you have to take a hit for the team on this one. But I'm so pleased with it. This is the, let me get my fingerprint off here. The mirror's cute. And then I use these eyeshadows all summer long. A little bit of the yellows and stuff. The shimmers are all beautiful. This whole center row of shimmers is outstanding, outstanding. And then you've got this beautiful dark navy blue, and then this royal blue are so pretty. You've got this for a touch if you want a turquoise touch, and then of course you've got a black with mini glitters in it. They don't show up on your eyes, but they are there, and if you get really close you can see them, and they do spill down onto your face. But I love this palette. I would definitely rebuy it. It is still available on her website. Moonlight does a lot of things really funny, but this is definitely perfect. Definitely would repurchase that. And it's an odd thing. It's just an odd thing. All right, let me get this off. I guess that's Tony the Tiger, all that orange and black. I'm not an orange eyeshadow person. I'm not really into that. Yep, stain the hand. Okay. All right, now this is Sydney Grace, and I really like this, and I'm probably biased too because I like Glitzy Fritzy, but this is the Blessed palette from Glitzy Fritzy with collaboration with Sydney Grace. Nice mirror here, and then there are these gorgeous shades. And they all have names that have meaning to her personally. I've made probably 4 different eye looks from this, and I really enjoy it. I really do enjoy it. This is my favorite shade in the palette. It's Shy Guy. That's her husband. It's really, really nice. She mimicked the Wet n Wild singles that they had, the Creme Brulee. This is the shade. She had them copy it. We have deep gray and a nice brown. We've got some nice like transition colors. You've got like rosy tones, cool tone. Now she's kind of cool tone, so these flatter her really well. I'm a little bit warm tone, so I tend to go more towards like My Buttercup, which is a beautiful green. I don't know if it's gonna work with this. Why not? Why not? Let me give it a try. My infamous finger. You can do some really unique things with this palette. Plus you can just do basic old boring neutrals. You know, it really is, it's so pretty. And So Merry, you know, it's a slightly more, well, let me see, more of a deeper shade, put that in the center. You can do so many fun things with this. This is a fun palette. Yes, I would repurchase, and there's a deeper shade version of this for people who have deeper skin tones, but I'm jealous of that. I want to get that one, you know. So when I repurchase, I'm going to repurchase that one, I think. But definitely would. This is the Sydney Grace and Glitzy Fritzy Blessed palette, or Blessed, Blessed palette. Absolute winner. Really wonderful. Now I am studying Native American, First Nation, Indigenous peoples, culture, issues, current affairs, history. And so I decided to buy a lot of different products from Native American companies and makeup. There's a lot of makeup companies who are indigenous owned, and this is the Prados. This is the Sagredo palette. You can find these at JCPenney, of all places. She has some great lipsticks too. I have 2 of her lipsticks. I'm wearing one of her lipsticks now. This is the, I think Change the World is the name of that one. Let me just see here. Yeah, this is Change the World. This is another wonderful latte palette. It has an indentation in there of a hummingbird. Beautiful, beautiful colors, lots of pigmentation, a really good assortment. You can do several different eye looks with this particular palette. It's high quality, mostly matte and light shimmers, and absolutely beautiful. And that is from Prados. This other one is Blended Girl Cosmetics, and here she is on the back. And this is the Good Medicine palette. This has some more, there's a mirror in it, and it has some more striking bright colors as well. And they really complement medium to deeper skin tones. And I add pops of this to my eye look. You know, every now and then I will pick up a shade out of here. But there are some neutrals as well, a beautiful green here. There's no pressed glitters, which is nice. And they've got just such a lot of good basic colors just to add in to complement your eye look. And these shimmers are beautiful for under the eye. It's kind of a coppery shade. Really, really pretty for under the eye. So I really love what I've tried so far from both of these companies. And this is the Good Medicine. I also have her brushes, which are outstanding. Let me see if I have, here's one of them here. Her brush set is absolutely beautiful. I have the complete face and eye set, and I use them a lot. There's one here too. And that's from the Blended Girl Cosmetics company. Really nice, indigenous. So there you have it. Those are my eyeshadow palettes and what I would or would not repurchase again. Definitely really eclectic assortment. Now, other things, I had depotted all my Viseart shadows into a Z palette, and it's like now I don't know which ones are where and which ones. I mean, it was not a good thing to do as a YouTuber because I can't show them to you because I don't know exactly which ones came from which palettes. It was a really dopey thing for me to do with some really beautiful palettes. Now, they were older, so I'll have to say that, you know, I'd have to replace those Viseart palettes, and those I would definitely repurchase. So this was a lot of fun, and there are a couple of other videos, I'll link them below, of people that are also talking about palettes they own and would they repurchase them. Something a little different. You know, we're all looking for something a little different. I hope you're all having a wonderful week. I went to a powwow down in Narragansett last week, and they're a warring tribe, so their powwow dancing and everything else was just slightly different. Some wonderful vendors, had some great conversations with people. took some footage, so I can't wait to go into my indigenous mode here. It's overwhelming right now with the boarding school and residential school because it's a pretty heavy subject, but I'm working on it. I'm going to release all 6 of them, I believe, at the same time, so that you can binge watch them. Have a wonderful week and have a beautiful day. Take care. Toodles.